Hey, in this video, I'm going to show you one simple strategy that you can use to make your dance look less stiff. All right, so let's dive into it. This video is brought to you by Beyond the Move, the freestyle dance program for any dancers at any levels. So the principle that I would like to share with you is the bounce. The bounce will be able to actually make your dance look much more loose. So if you feel like you are in a situation where you feel like your dance is too stiff, you know, the bounce can definitely help with that. So what is the bounce? The bounce is one of the hip hop foundation, and it's a very simple movement, which is actually, to me personally, I don't see the bounce as a movement, right? I see it as a principle, because it's a foundation that we can use with many different movements. But just for the sake of showing you an example, I'm going to show one movement, all right, which is this one, you know, bouncing like this. And I'm not going to be spending time on that because I'm pretty sure that you already know what is the bounce, okay? So I'm just bouncing here, and all of a sudden, you see here, I've got a movement that is much more loose. Imagine I was doing the same movement, but like that. You see? So I would say, like, even though I'm bouncing, but you know, it's not the same. You can see that, you know, everything is kind of stiff right now. You know, imagine I'm doing this movement. You see the way it looks now, and now all of a sudden, the moment I add the bounce to it, you see how it looks now. The same here. Look, here, that's a movement. There's nothing wrong with that movement. It's pretty good, right? Okay, yeah. But the moment I add the bounce to it, you can see all of a sudden, this is much more loose. This is much more bouncy, and it looks more like I'm dancing as well. You see what I mean? So that's the power of the bounce. But now that we understand this principle, how can we use it in our dance? That's the most important part. So I invite you to start thinking beyond just, you know, the movement. Because if you only think about the bounce as a movement, then you will quickly think like, yeah, but it's too simple, or maybe it's too boring. Another foundation, you know, class, or another foundation, you know, tutorial or something like that. But I don't want you to think this way, because that's actually what is one of the things that you can actually use to literally push your dance to a higher level. Because not everybody under stress, for example, in a pre-selection or, you know, in a battle, can actually take the time to develop the bounce and really push it, you know, to a higher level, you know, and keep consistency in it for a long period of time. So you can quickly see that actually, even though the principle may look simple, but there is way more depth to it. And once you understand that, then you have an open mind to start exploring this foundation and make it part of your dance. You see? So that's what I want to invite you to do. So one of the way that we're going to be doing this is the first exercise that I want to invite you to ask yourself this question: how can I be as bouncy as possible? And one of the way I like to think about it is, okay, if I'm doing the basic movement of, you know, the bounce, right? If I'm doing it like this, the main part that is helping me bouncing right now, you know, is my leg, right? But if I want to be more bouncy than that, what else can I do to make my movement even much more loose? Oh, okay, maybe I can start bouncing other part of my body at the same time. So instead of just having the bounce here, because many people, that's what they do, they're gonna have the bounce here. You see what I mean? But the bounce only stay here. Why? It shouldn't be staying only here, because if I'm only doing this, then you can see my upper body is still kind of stiff, you know? It's not that bad, it's better than this, right? But you can make it more bouncy. Therefore, now all of a sudden, if I also start bouncing my upper body, right? Now, all of a sudden, I add more groove to it, more feeling to it, more dynamic to my movement. You see? But I'm still doing the same movement, right? I'm still bouncing, right? Now, I said, okay, I'm bouncing with my legs and my chest, but I also can bounce with my shoulder right now while I'm bouncing with my chest. You see what I mean? And even now, my head can go like this as well. You see what I mean? And now, but all of a sudden, I am much more bouncy. You see what I mean? And therefore, there's no way I will look stiff when I'm dancing. You see? So this principle alone, we're gonna start exploring with that, okay? So I'm gonna play the music and start exploring and keep asking myself, how can I be as bouncy as possible with every movement that I'm gonna be doing? And the answer to this is to try to bounce as many parts of my body at the same time, all right? So let's go for it. Okay, so exploration mode for now, yeah? So you played a music, okay? And you start. Yeah? And then you start asking yourself, how can I be more bouncy than that? You know, and all of a sudden, you start adding more to it, you know? All right, maybe my chest can be more bouncy, you know? Maybe my chest can be more bouncy now. Maybe my shoulder as well, you know? My shoulder, yes. Of course my shoulder can be more bouncy than that. Yes, let's go. My head as well. You see? Yeah? Okay, how can I be more bouncy than that? You know? Now, we can even change the level. All right, you see now? Go inside body. You keep going, you keep exploring this way. Don't think about crazy movement or having like the best round ever. That's not the goal here. The goal is keep on being as bouncy as possible. See? Just that. You know? You know? And you keep exploring this. If you keep exploring this, then there's no way your dance will remain stiff for long. It's impossible. Because if you add the bounce really to your dance, then all of a sudden your dance get much more loose without being more flexible, you know, without spending hours stretching, none of that, just the bounce. And you add it. And when you think that you added enough, you added some more. You see what I mean? And just playing with that over time, over and over again, over time you will feel like, okay, actually, my body is much more loose now when I'm dancing, you know? And I'm still in control, you know? And it's not like, even when I feel stressed and I've got like a pre-selection or something like that, the moment I apply this principle, I feel like, yeah, it's okay. I don't have to be stiff. You know, the stress can still be here, but I will be much more loose. You see what I mean? And this alone can literally put your dance to a higher level, right? Just by adding this in your dance and incorporating that in your natural way of moving, right? But once again, I just wanted to touch on that, right? The bounce, I could do like literally easily like 20 episodes just, you know, talking about the bounce, you know, because we could go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper on that, you know, because there are so many ways that you can explore it. But it's all about being open-minded and not seeing it as a movement, but instead seeing it as a foundation, a principle that you can use in many different ways. Therefore, you will tap into your creativity to start capitalizing on that foundation alone, okay? That's the main thing. Now I'm gonna play the music, do a quick demo to show you just, you know, how I can just play with the bounce and start actually adding some more rhythm to it, just, you know, with a simple movement as the bounce, okay? And then, yeah, so just watch this first, and then I will let you know what's next. So here you have it, guys. So even if you know about the bounce, I invite you to explore some more, you know, and any high-level freestyle dancers that you love and you are being inspired by them, they will tell you that they keep revisiting foundations over and over and over again, no matter their level. They will always tell you that at some point in their dance journey, they have to go back and revisit the foundations. You know, sometimes they will go explore, you know, completely other stuff, and then they will come back at some point revisiting, you know, the foundations. And each time they do that, they find ways to get deeper into it, deeper and deeper into it, because these are the things that we always need to explore, right? So I really invite you to just be open-minded and see how you can dig deeper into these foundations, all right? And you know, the bounce, like I said, start thinking, okay, how can I be, just by asking yourself this question, how can I be more and more bouncy? You know, more and more bouncy. I'm not saying that you should be dancing like this all the time. You know, that's not the goal here, right? It's only a foundation that you want to be having consistently in your dance. Then you can still playing and do so many things. You are free to do so many things, right? But then you also know how to utilize this foundation, all right? So that's my goal here, and that's my message here. And if you want even more structure training to know how to train more effectively and also remove the guesswork, you know, like, oh, am I doing this right, or am I doing this right? You know, if you feel like that and you feel like you really need more structure to kind of push your dance to a higher level, then it's probably time for you to check out, you know, our training. You know, you can have the link in the description below, and you can, you know, give it a try for 7 days and see if it's something that you like and you enjoy. And then you will have a much more step-by-step structured training to know what to work on each step in your dance journey to progress much faster. All right, so yeah, I invite you to check this out in the link in the description below. Other than that, thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you on the next one. See you, bye.